Hello everyone, welcome all of you. I'm Mr. Kumar. In this video, we will be looking at CEH Module 15, SQL injection. In this module, you will learn SQL injection concepts, types of SQL injection, SQL injection methodology, SQL injection tools, evasion techniques, and finally the countermeasures. The before learning about what is SQL injection, you must have some kind of knowledge about SQL, structured query language, and also the databases. The knowing about database is definitely helpful if you want to do SQL injection, because you will be writing the SQL queries. The more you understand how that works, the better you will be able to do that and interact with the database. Okay, now let's look at what is SQL. SQL is a standard language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving the data in databases. And also there are commands like insert, select, update, and delete to perform the operation on the database. So this language is used to communicate from the front end of the web to the back end of the web. So if I go to website as an example, now if I go to a eBay website, I only have the front end of the website. The front end of the website means this interface, which we see as the users. But I don't have the backend, which is the database. So if I want to communicate with the front end, from the front end to the back end, I need to use the SQL queries. So if I ask a questions to the backend in the form of SQL queries, then it will give me an answer. So if I type at here like a computer in this search bar, then it will go to the backend of the website and send me the uh, reply. So that reply will display at here. That means as a user, we only have the front end of the website, so we don't have the back end. So that's the normally SQL does. uh, Now let's jump into my presentation. Okay, now you have some kind of knowledge about SQL. Okay, now let's look at what is SQL injection. Okay, this is the scenario. We have an attacker, we have the database. This database at the inside of the web server. That means web server contains the database. So if you want to attack on the database, um, then you have to send SQL queries to the database that you can connect with the backend of the database. And you want to send the malicious content to the database, but the database is not aware about that. This is the malicious content. So then a database gives you the information that you want as an attacker. So what are the information that you want, and as an attacker, the everything which are stored in the database, like email address, passwords, usernames, credit card numbers, and so on. Okay. Okay, then this is the thing that we are going to do in this section. Okay, database structure. We are talking about the databases and backend, but if we don't know about the database structure, we won't be able to attack the database. So it is very important to know about the database structure. If attacker tries to attack on the database, that means attacker want the data. So attacker has to go step by step. So this full shell is called as the database, and inside of the database there are tables, and inside of the tables there are columns, and finally inside of the columns there is the data that we want as an attackers. So if we want to attack the database, we have to go step by step. First of all, we have to uh, find the database name. Then we have to gather the information about tables. Then we have to gather the information about columns. Then finally we can retrieve the data which I stored in the database. So I think now you have some clear idea about database. This is the database structure. Okay, now let's talk about why bother about SQL injection. Actually, the SQL injection is a major issue for the all database driven website, because using the SQL injection, attackers can implement these following attacks. Okay, using these following attacks, attackers can do a lot of malicious things to the database and websites, like logs into the applications without providing valid usernames or passwords, and change the authorization informations, obtain sensitive information which I stored in the database, and also insert the malicious contents into the web pages and change the content of the database. And they can do delete the database information, delete logs, delete audit information, like that. The very devastating one is attackers compromise the host OS. So that means attackers put the host OS in the danger. So that's why we need to concern about the SQL injection, especially if you own a website. Okay, now let's go to this one. Understanding a normal SQL query. I have already told you SQL is very important because we are doing SQL injection. To understand about these things, very important. Okay, the normal SQL query looks like that. Select some kind of element from the table name where the condition. Now let's look at example for this one. Select name price description from production where price less than 499. That means we select the name, price and description from the production table. The condition is the production's price must be less than 499. Then it will give you the uh, all possible results. So now you can see at here the certifiedethicalhacker.com login page, and some kind of user has input a username as Jason and the password as Springfield. So uh, this login page SQL Guru looks like this one. Select count from users where username equal Jason and password equal Springfield. That means select all the possibility things from the users table. The condition is username equal to Jason and the password equal to Springfield. So if this matches with the database, then you are allowed to access the website. Okay, now let's try to understand an SQL injection code. Now you can see the attack is launching a SQL injection on the certifiedethicalhacker.com login page. So he has input the username as blah uh, apostrophe o 1 equal 1 dash dash, and the password as Springfield. Okay, now let's look at how this once as a SQL query looks like. It's look like this. Select count from users where username equal apostrophe blah apostrophe o 1 equal 1 dash dash apostrophe and password equal Springfield. So at here, after dash dash, code after dash dash are comments. So this part is not going to execute. So before the dash dash code part, it's that part is called as SQL query executed part. So only this part gonna be executed. So you can see at the username, in front of the usernames there are two apostrophes which are in the black color. One is at here, another one is at here. So if I input something as into the username field, it will appear at here between these two black apostrophes. So if I input another apostrophe between these two apostrophes, what will happen? The thing is, the code thing, this apostrophe also the part of the code. So it will consider like that. So okay, now let's look at what has happened at here. You can say username equal apostrophe blah apostrophe or one equal one. So then that means uh, uh, this is going to match with the database. They will look if the username is equal to blah, but username is not equal to blah, but or one equal one. The one equal one is a boolean expression. This boolean expression is true. That means the blah is not the username, but one equal one is true. For therefore, they will allow you to access the database. That is how the SQL injection query looks like, and how that works. So you can use this method to bypass the login pages which are vulnerable to the SQL injection. So not only this one, there are a lot of things. At here you can see there are a lot of SQL injections codes that you can use to bypass the login pages. Actually you have to use the all the things. Okay, you have to go through all these things and find what is the correct one. So then you can find the which one is gonna give you the access to the website. So now I will show you an example using my sample website. uh, Actually it is not legal to uh, attack the live host. So you need to have to use the uh, sample website. Now I have a sample website bweb, and this is the login page. So I will put at here login page as admin, uh, admin, and also the password as 123. These are not right credentials, these are wrong. If I put the if I press the login button, now you can see okay, wait, before that one I have to log into the bwebpan using b and using the bug. Okay, now I have logged into the bweb app. So now I will select the SQL injection login form. Okay, now you can see there is the login page. This is vulnerable to SQL injection. uh, you can find if it's vulnerable to SQL injection using the apostrophe. If I put apostrophe and press the login button, there's error. That means this is vulnerable to SQL injection. So now I will use admin and 123 as a password. These are not right credentials. Let's see what will happen when I put the login button. It will shows invalid credentials. So okay, now I'll try to bypass this login page using the SQL injection. Okay, I will write apostrophe or one equal one slash dash dash, and I left the password field empty. Now let's see what will happen when I press the login button. Now you can see I have logged as a neo. So I have a bypass this login page using the SQL injection. That's the normally we do the SQL injection and you bypass this login pages. Actually, I have previously tried this one, so I put the right one. But if you have a vulnerability website and and a login page, you have to go through all these things and find which will be work for you. Actually, if you Google, you can find a lot of commands like that. Okay, now let's talk about the types of SQL injection. There are mainly three types of SQL injection. The first one is in-band SQL injection. Second one is blind SQL injection. Third one is out-of-band SQL injection. In-band SQL injection means attacker use the same communication channel to attack and also the retrieve the data. This is very easy one and most commonly and popular one. So there are mainly two types: error-based SQL injection and the union SQL injection. So if I talk about the error-based SQL injection, that means uh, uh, there's an error message. So if the website is vulnerable to the SQL injection, we can see the error message at there. I think you have also previously seen that one, but I will again show you. At if this page is vulnerable to the SQL injection, we can see when we input the malicious code, we can see a error message. The most of the time we use the apostrophe to find the it is vulnerable or not. So if I input the apostrophe here and put press login, then you can see a error message. That means this page is vulnerable to the SQL injection. So second one is at here blind SQL injection. This is going to be a little bit difficult because blind SQL injection there has no error message from the system. Okay, it's compared to the error based one. There is an error message, but at here we don't get the error message. But the site is vulnerable to the SQL injection. So attackers has to use the true or false result to determine if it is vulnerable or not. The final one is out of band SQL injection. This is rarely used by attackers because this is very difficult because attackers has to use the different communication channels to attack the databases. So that's why they rarely use this one. Okay, now you have good knowledge about the SQL types of SQL injection. Next thing is SQL injection methodology. When we talk about the SQL injection methodology, you have to go through the three steps. The first step is information gathering and the vulnerable detection. Firstly, you have to gather the information about the website or database, like the database name, the version of database, so on. And they have then you have to gather find if it's vulnerable or not. Then to find that one, you can use the malicious contents. You have to input the malicious contents, and you can see. Otherwise, you can use the tools like Burp Suite to find that one. So after performing the information gathering and SQL injection, then you can launch the SQL injection attack. That means uh, second step you have to launch the SQL injection attacks. Then you can use the arrow based SQL injection, union SQL injections, blind SQL injection, so on. And you can do this one also in the manually or using the tools. Uh, Using the both types, you can do that one. The advanced SQL injection means attacker tries to interact with the host OS, get the access to the host OS and compromise the host OS. That means put the host OS in the danger using the keylogs and trojans. So this is the SQL injection methodology. Now let's look at SQL injection tools. Actually, if you go to a GitHub, there are a lot of tools. But in the Kali Linux machine, we mainly Kali Linux or ParaTOS machine, we mainly use the SQL map. And when it comes to the Android, well, you can go to Play Store and download these things: SQLi, Droidbug, SQL Spider, like that, so on. Okay, now I will show you uh, how to attack a database, how to attack the website using the SQL map. Now I will go to my Kali machine, and I have already told you it's illegal to attack on the live host. Then you have to use your sample website. This is my sample website. Now I will go to the SQL. The first thing at here, the SQL injection one. Okay, now you can see we have the website. So first of all, I will see if it is vulnerable to the SQL injection. I will put the apostrophe n. Uh, I click the search button, and now you can see there's the error message. Error message. That means this is vulnerable to the SQL injection. So when we attack the databases, we need some kind of things. The first thing is we need a link. So if I put, click the search button at here, you can see there are it will show all the possible results. So if I type at here Iron Man and search, so then I have the link. So I know this, I can use this link to attack, because I know this one is vulnerable to the SQL injection. So this is the link that we want to use our attack. And the second thing is we need to find the cookie values. Cookie values used to associate with the online activities, so we need to find the cookie values if there are cookie values. So right click that website and go to the inspection element, then go to the storage. Now you can see the cookie values at here. There are four cookie values, so I have to use these all the four cookie values to attack this website. Okay, these are the two things that we want from the website. Now let's go to my Kali machine. So at here, I have to perform this attack uh, as a, sudo privilege. So I will get sudo privilege. Now I have the sudo privilege. So then now if I type as SQL map dash dash help, you can see the every possibility commands that we can use when we are using the SQL map. You can see there are every possibility commands at here, like cookies, proxy, data, and the commands like tables, columns, shima, dump, so on. Okay, uh, now I'll show you how to attack that website. First of all, you have to write SQL map, then dash dash URL equal. You have to put the your URL within brackets. So go to that website, and this is our website link. Get this website link and put uh, at here within the brackets. Okay, now it's right. So then I have to use the put the cookie values dash dash cookie equal within brackets. It also you have to put in the within brackets. So there are four cookie values. I have to put all these four ones at here. Copy, and I will paste it at here, and it's equal to put that's value. Get the copy of that one, and let's put it at here. Paste. Okay. Then you have to get the second one. I will get this the name of the cookie. Copy this one and paste, and it's equal to find the its value is not. I will write it my own. uh, and third one is php SSID. Copy that one and go and paste that here. It's equal to php SSID equal to get the that's value and put it here. And finally, the last one is we have the security level. Its value is equal to 0. I will put it here. Its value is equal to 0. Now I have done up to now. Then I have to type dash dash dbs. That means I'm gonna find the database. I think you can see these things clear. Okay, now I'll put the enter. Now it's attacking on this website. Now you can see it's attacking. Okay, it has attack. Now you can see the backend database is MySQL. They have find like that, and there are database. There are available database. There are 34 available database at here. So I try to hack the bweb one. So that means I need to bweb one. So now I have find the name of the database. If you remember, the I have previously told you about the database structure. That means firstly you have to find the database name. Now I have find the database name, then I have to find the tables. Okay, now let's go to this one. Get the same command, and at here you have to change it to the capital D, and you have to put the database name bweb. I think bweb. Let's see. Yeah, this one is bweb. Yeah, our database name is bweb. Now we need to find the tables, dash dash tables. Write that one and press enter. Now you can see the tables. Okay, there are four tables under the bweb database: blog, heroes, movies, and user. So we have to go through these things. Now I will try to go through the users table and find the what are the columns inside this users table. We get the same one, same code, and at here you have to type as -t, and you have to mention the table name. Table name is users. I has put the user, and dash dash columns. If I enter, uh, it will find the columns. uh, I have done something wrong, I think. C O L C O L U M N S columns. Let's see. Okay, now it's working. Okay, now you can see there are nine columns under the users table. So now firstly I have found the database name, then I found the tables, then I find the columns. Now I have the data. Now I can get the data. So I will retrieve the login name, login one, and the password, because I think that's other very important for us. Okay, so use the same command, and at here you put the capital C, and you have to put the what are the datas you want. Okay, I want the login one and also the password, and type dash dash dump. Okay, let's see, then it will show the data which we want. Okay, now it's asking, do you want to store hash as a temporary file for eventually further processing with other tools? Actually, I don't want to store the hashes. I put no, and it will ask me the second question, do you want to crack them via a dictionary based attack? So if I put the yes, then it will you know the normally the passwords store as the hash values. So it will give the hash values. If I put at here yes, then it will do the dictionary attack and give me the real passwords, and also there's a hashes and also real one. So I will put y yes. Now you can see the login one is AIM, and also B the password, there's a hash value, and also they have done the dictionary attack, and also you can see the real one. This is the bug for the both logins are the same password. It is bug. Now I have find the logging logins ones and the passwords. So uh, now I can log into this application using these things. Now I hack the database and I get the information what I want. I think now you can understand how to do a SQL query, SQL injection, and attack the database. So that's for all, and see you in the next video. Uh, uh, see you later. Have a nice day for all of you.